Hello, Seattle. My group coming to you from Northern Connecticut. Yes, we are the ELAiNE group. We wanted to give a final pitch, but really a recap of two important things and then adding one more thing before we hit submit. My group is Entrepreneurs Landing Amazon in New England. And so this final message is mainly about where in New England you would be. The heart of southern New England. You are just below the Massachusetts border, just above Hartford, about equidistant between Springfield and Hartford. The map looks kind of like this. Yes, we've penciled out where Amazon would be. As far as the specifics, how good is this? Yes, that circle indicates the exit from a 4-lane highway to a headquarters right there. 199,000 square feet. Parking off to the side. And then development space, 43 acres worth. Who's that? Up there is UTC. They're the ones who own the parcel now, and they're selling it off. They're using it right now as side space. I think good neighbors, because they're high-tech, but they don't really compete with you. More competitive, they are close by. UPS and FedEx are nearby. You're closer to the airport anyway. And should you want to really build big and envelop the whole area, this parcel 4, 264 acres for development under the Connecticut Airport Authority, which is relatively loose in terms of its ability to make a smooth landing for you. Transportation to this area is good. 4-lane highway right to the property. 2.5 miles away is I-91, 4 lanes from Vermont all the way down to New York. And we never have traffic near the airport. There's congestion in those two cities. Hartford and Springfield have rush hour congestion. You're in between. Even with 40,000 commuters into your area, let's say half of them by car, there's still room. And thus, you should look forward to even fewer cars, because our rail system called the Hartford Rail Line will be in play by the end of 2018. That connects Springfield with New Haven on double-tracked rail. The surrounding towns. The education is pretty good in the public schools. It's been enhanced over the last 15 years by magnet schools that dot Greater Hartford. 5 of them are high schools with tech capabilities. One of them is actually called the Aerospace Academy. It's located in Windsor, 3.5 miles from Hamilton Road, your future headquarters. Private education is abundant. And in part because of even still good publics, privates are thriving because parents put a lot of premium on education. However, when it comes time to go to college, kids don't tend to stray that far. Some of them want to go south. Not many go to the west. And to the extent that counselors steer, one of our partners is actually part of a group called Education Excellence. They consult high school families. They consult schools themselves. And rarely do they steer people to go away from the Northeast, because the opportunities here are so good. You are going to be a beneficiary of the high schoolers and the many undergrads and grad students who stay in New England for college. Yet, they have a hard time staying for a career if they want high tech. There isn't much high tech here. That becomes an advantage to you. The brain power that would like to stay suddenly will have a place to stay and not many competitors. Back in Seattle, you've got like 21 internet companies in the top 500. We have 1. You'd be number 2. So there's a good opportunity to land talent. And let me close with a statistic that I found about keeping talent. I was expecting that Connecticut didn't have a huge turnover rate? Well, my research showed we are number one, lowest in terms of turnover, 11.5%. By contrast, Washington State is 16.5%. Worst was Oklahoma. So the relative stability, and by the way, that's true of all the Northeast. Our neighbors in Rhode Island, Maine, and Massachusetts occupy the number 2, 3, and 6 spot. Again, we're number one for low turnover. It's a good place to attract people and then keep them here. We hope we'll attract you, especially if before the leaves fully turn, you can come out here. Come on out to we call it land of steady habits. We have the most beautiful foliage right now. The winters aren't bad. They're really not. We don't have hurricanes. We don't have earthquakes, no tornadoes, no tidal waves. Most people would like to stay. The disconsolation has been mainly at the hands of government. And in our other video, in our proposal, you'll hear that government is very likely to change soon. In fact, you can help change it. By just being the good entrepreneurship in mass that you propose, you're going to move to Connecticut into a much better situation for business for the next 50 years. Thank you for making this proposal. We hope we meet your standards. Have a nice night. We'll be submitting soon.